Hello, everyone. Welcome to WinCat Sports, and today we're doing a little bit something outside of what we usually talk about. We're going to go in the realm of college football with Michigan season ending, and everything going around Jim Harbaugh. We might as well just talk about what's going on. Overall, they didn't have a bad year. I mean, they went undefeated. You can't complain about that. And they ended up, even though with Harbaugh being suspended, they beat two top 10 teams.
Yeah, they did what they had to do, and despite all the turmoil and the craziness, and whether it was justifiable or not, I I can't remember a coach being suspended twice in a year by two different bodies. To the big question, like I said, we're just going to enjoy the ride for right now. Uh, Enjoy the playoffs. With certainly beating Ohio State's the number one thing, and we accomplished that. After that, everything to me, I'm one of those guys who's happy right now. So if they get to the national championship game, that would be great too.
Uh,
But beating Ohio State is probably I'm one of those guys who just that's what I strive to do, win the Big Ten, which they should do against Iowa. Um, so I think all in all, it's been a great year.
I mean, when people have complained about the strength of schedule, I mean, they have a reason to complain.
I,
You
the,
haven't faced a ranked team except for Penn State and Ohio State, but you beat both Penn State and Ohio State without your head coach, regardless of a cheating scandal. I don't think you were going to lose to any of the teams that were on your schedule. You shouldn't have lost to any teams on your schedule besides maybe Penn State or Ohio State because everybody else just isn't that good in the Big Ten. Outside of Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State, there's nobody who's really amazing.
it's a real problem because it's a bad product. We only really get to watch for those of us who don't, enjoy watching 30-point massacres. Um, it's not any fun. I really didn't watch any Michigan football until they played Penn State. And then I watched Maryland the last three games, and it was fun. Um, I wish I could have watched more. I'm going to look forward to next year. I hope Jim Harbaugh stays.
Which
It looks like our
I think
schedule's a lot more fun. I understand, you being college, you're going to have some cupcakes on your schedule, but it shouldn't be the majority of your schedule. The vast majority of your schedule is just garbage
well,
teams.
I don't think that is fully on Michigan's fault because
It isn't.
Rutgers is in their division, right? You pulled the two from the other division that you didn't play the other years, which is Minnesota and Nebraska, which
Right.
aren't
State is
amazing.
garbage.
Michigan State's garbage. Purdue crap. Maryland crap. They're not a terrible team, but they're not amazing.
Right.
And the only two good teams that are in your division are Penn State and Ohio State, who again are really good teams, and both are going to end up missing the playoffs just because it's a uh, four team. Next year it'll be 12 team, and likely you would have had all three of
Right.
those teams in the
And
playoffs.
that'll be fun. That's what we're looking for. It's supposed to be entertainment more. That's what sports are. If you wouldn't keep going to a bad restaurant if they served horrible food to you. And that's what I feel like, the NCAA is. We don't get to see enough good games. So why should we buy into this product? We need to see competitive games. I mean, that Michigan game was great. Both teams played fantastic.
Yeah,
It was close. It was fun down the wire. The Maryland game was fun. Penn State a little less fun. Yeah, but I mean, it was still a good game. So I mean, that's what we need to see more of, and we should next year with the schedule that that's coming out.
and we know if Michigan ends up winning, that's if they end up winning it all, it's still going to be a little bit scrutiny behind it just because of the cheating acquisitions.
And
But
but I think Michigan fans, we've gotten to the point we really don't care. I mean, if we win the
okay.
whole thing, um, it's going to be ours, and we're going to accept it. And you can say whatever you want, and it's going to be our championship. And but we don't give a crap what the
I,
NCAA does.
and I don't even think
Corrupt body that is.
And I don't even think Jim Harbaugh is going to be the coach next year. I think he's just done with the NCAA. Not that he's done with Michigan. He's done with college
And I
football
can't
in a
blame
whole.
him for that. I hope he stays
When
because I
you
think him and Michigan. I mean, it's a brand. I mean, this is Bo and Woody. This is having him. I mean, Ryan Day ain't quite up to Woody's standards, but Jim Harbaugh's become an icon at Michigan, just like Bo. And it's kind of fun. It's fun having that stability and people hating us. And, we have a consistently good competitive team. I don't know if we would if he left.
That
Uh,
that's just it. I think is just going to leave because he's done with college football. He's done with the NCAA. You get suspended twice by college football in 1 year. I think you're just
Plus the
done.
pain in the ass of the portal and the NIL and having to coddle these kids and stuff. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't blame him one bit if he decides to go. But I hope he doesn't.
Well, I hope he doesn't leave either, but it's what I think is going to end up happening. And leading on to the Big Ten championship, which you should win because you're facing Iowa, even though they're 16th ranked, you are 21.5 point favorites over Iowa.
Iowa's the type of team that, you know what, if you're theirs, if you're a fan, you should be proud of. I mean, they do everything the right way. Um, they're a good program. They haven't had a losing season in 10 years. They play in every championship, but they know that it's a huge upset if they beat Michigan or Ohio State or whoever comes out of the East. The West just doesn't have anybody like that.
And Iowa had to fire their offensive coordinator,
Yeah, I
which is
don't why.
because of a contract detail if he didn't average 25 points a game.
Oh wow,
But this year he was done, which is the coach's son. If you didn't know that.
wow. That's kind of a weird stipulation.
He always sucked with his offenses. That's why.
Oh well, yeah, I was, but their defense is very good, right behind Michigan's.
So, well,
Um, they don't play anybody any good either. Probably the West sucks,
the West until next year when you add the four
right? Next
decent
year is gonna
Pac-12
next
teams.
year is gonna at least, like I said, be fun to watch for the most part. You're gonna have some much more competition and uh, going to draw some interest. That's what you want. It's product. It's supposed to be fun, and it wasn't that fun until we played Penn State this year.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen after everything that happens, I'm assuming Georgia's gonna win their game and they'll be number one. If Georgia loses to Alabama, that throws a wrench into everything that goes on with playoff wise. You're gonna assume potentially Florida State should beat Louisville, but they think that might be close. And if Oregon beats Washington, you're the only undefeated team left if all the other ones lose their championships. And all other ones are supposed to be closer than Michigan versus Iowa. So there's a chance Michigan's number one by the end of all this, depending on everything that happens. But I assume Georgia will beat Alabama. Michigan should beat Iowa. So there's your 1 and 2.
Who would you say is the surprise team to make it in?
It could be Ohio State or Alabama, depending on what happens.
Yeah, I don't care.
Or Texas. Texas
I
has an opportunity to make
right.
it in.
I don't care anymore. Like I said, if they want us to play Ohio State twice, I guess we can do
We
that.
wouldn't play. It would be like last year. It'd be Georgia versus Ohio State, then us versus whoever they throw at number 3.
I just hate this. We want to see,
I
some
think.
variety.
I think what's going to end up happening. It's going to come down to how close the games are. You could see Texas in there if they win the Big 12 because they'll be a one-loss champion. And you have to think if all the undefeated teams win, it's what it is right now, which would be we would play Washington, and then Georgia plays Florida State. If nothing changes, if everybody wins,
Okay.
those are your 4 undefeated teams. They all get in. If
Well,
not,
Florida State and Washington, they're different.
if
I
not,
guess
you have a chance to play Oregon. You have a chance to play Texas. So
that's why I'm looking forward to next year. You're going to get some more teams in there. It's going to be more competitive. It'll be fun.
it,
Um, this year, I've already had my fun. Basically, we beat Ohio State, and we should beat Iowa. I can't. If Iowa beats us, I'll take my hats off to them.
yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say on it. They should win, and I expect them to have a good shot at the championship this year. So we'll see what ends up happening come New Year's. With all that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And
Go
until next time,
blue!
hope to see everybody soon.